Oh no.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali.
I might
Nice
sneeze.
blessing, now 10% off.
This is good.
Make sure you get in line early to buy your everyone keeps talking about.
You saw stuff?
Come home.
Oh, you do. It's only what the yeah, 60,000. What? No. What? Just no. What the? What is that price tag, bro? You paid that much just for a stupid. Oh my gosh! Like that price tag is insane. Sorry for hitting my mic.
Has magical powers to heal your body and soul.
Is there anything in the world that will satisfy my taste buds?
I don't see anyone suspicious around. It seems clear for the moment. Let's go inside and wait for Xingqi.
Oh, this whole thing's starting to make Paimon a little nervous. What do we do? And what do we talk about when Xingqiu gets here?
First, we must ascertain whether Xingqi was already in Inazuma or not. If we can find evidence of him deceiving us, then we can use it as leverage to persuade him to tell us the truth. Since we're still waiting for him, why don't you go and chat with other guests in the restaurant and see if you can learn anything useful?
Is there anything in there?
Okay. I need to blow my brains out again. I'm sorry. I just have horrible sneezing allergies. It's horrible. I know. It infuriates me how bad I sneeze. Yuta.
The last phase of the Irodori Festival is when they release the all-new publications. The one I'm really looking forward to is A Legend of Sword.
That's right. A signed first edition is going to become quite the collectible. I've got to get my hands on a copy.
I've seen Genyu's signature before. His handwriting is super neat. He must be really diligent about his style.
He'll be there in person on the day of the release, so we'll get a good look at him then. I hear that he's actually pretty young.
Wait a minute. Did you just hear that? Not only will Xingqiu be signing novels at the release, but his handwriting is super neat.
Welcome to Uyu Restaurant. Please talk to me if you want to order.
Albedo, what should we talk about when Xingqiu gets here? Any ideas?
I will try to break the ice by talking about our work on novels and illustrations. If he really is hiding something, then he might feel even more nervous than we do. If we start by talking about our work creating novels, perhaps he will lower his guard.
Oh, come to think of it, Xingqiu mentioned that he'd like to thank you for finishing the illustrations on time.
Boy.
He said they looked amazing despite the time you had.
Is that so? That is also a very valuable clue.
Xingqiu, you're not a very good liar. Do you sell any?
Hello there. What?
Hi, do you have any special recommendations today?
Why, of course. I personally recommend our freshly caught seafood. It's been pouring these past 2 days, so the fishing boats haven't been able to sail at all. But the weather finally cleared up today, so we have some fresh catch.
So the weather at sea has been bad these past few days?
It sure has. A few guests from Liyue were just telling me that their boat was heaving and rolling all the way here. They couldn't do anything but sleep the entire trip.
Oh, this might be some useful information.
Okay.
That was delicious. Inazuman cuisine largely consists of fresh seafood, which is certainly to my liking.
You hate carrots.
That's good.
I don't blame
We
you.
were worried
Carrots
you
are
might not have
horrible.
an appetite because you didn't sleep well. Now's our chance. Let's talk to Xingqiu and see if he says anything useful. Maybe we could start by asking him about the journey.
Shut up.
To be honest, there wasn't much to see. Just water all around, morning to night. The sheer monotony of the trip caused everyone to grow a little impatient. So, when the peak of Mount Yogo finally appeared in the distance as we approached the islands of Inazuma, everyone crowded the deck to have a look. However, the ship sailed along at a crawling pace. It took a whole day from the time we saw the mountain peak to the time we docked.
Paimon didn't catch anything suspicious so far. Oh, right! If it took an entire day to reach the docks, then it would have been pouring rain at the time they saw the top of the mountain.
We learned a couple of things from his account, but we still require more evidence. Let's discuss creating novels with Xingqiu.
While it is entertaining to read novels, writing one is an endeavor of its own. You must give great thought to every detail, from the layout of the plot to the rhythm of the lines. And even when you have come up with interesting content, there's still no guarantee that it will be to your liking.
I couldn't agree more. Whether it's writing a book, creating art, or studying alchemy, seldom can you really feel joy after seriously delving into the work.
Xingqiu and Albedo are getting into some deep topics now, but nothing suspicious has come up.
Speaking of illustrations, Albedo, I've long wished to express my sincerest gratitude for providing the illustrations in my novel. My novel didn't sell well in Liyue, so I must admit that I had some reservations regarding its potential. Yet you've consistently managed to select the most important scene of the chapter for your illustrations. This made me feel as though what I was trying to express could be understood after all.
Thank you. However, I took some risks in the illustrations, so I'm feeling slightly uneasy myself.
Risk.
Light novel illustrations are typically centered around the characters, but this time, I adopted a different approach in the illustration for the last chapter.
Well, that scene was intended to depict the change in the world, so I thought it very fitting to draw only scenery.
Doesn't sound like anything suspicious has come up so far.
No, there was a crack in his alibi. My illustrations were sent for printing the moment they arrived in Inazuma. So, logically speaking, there's no way he could possibly know what the illustrations look like. Xingqiu, we have something very important to ask you now.
Oh? Why the solemn looks all of a sudden? Huh? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Mr. Okazaki told us earlier that actually the weather at sea was very bad these last few days. So when you said that everyone came running to the deck to see Mount Yogo, that couldn't have happened.
On top of that, the latest installment of A Legend of Sword will only be revealed at the Irodori Festival. Even we, the creators, haven't received a sample copy. And if that's the case, how could you know what my illustrations look like?
Well,
The jig's up, Xingqiu. You were already in Inazuma before today, weren't you? Are you in some kind of danger but can't tell us the truth? Don't worry. The Traveler and Albedo are no pushovers. We can help you.
Yep.
no, please. You misunderstand me. I suppose my lack of sleep is inevitably taking its toll on my mind. I didn't notice for a moment that you were testing me at all.
Yep.
I did in fact come to Inazuma early to handle some things. Let me consider how
I'll
to
mute
explain
myself.
this. Oh, this is most embarrassing.
Oh, well, if this isn't a coincidence, I didn't expect to see everyone here.
Huh? Tone-deaf bard, what are you doing here?
I heard that the owner of this establishment has some fine-aged wines. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to taste them.
Paimon knew you couldn't possibly be up to anything good.
Says who? In fact, I come as the bearer of good tidings. I just bumped into Kujo Sara a moment ago. She said that the Tenryou Commission has apprehended the criminal who stole all those copies of A Legend of Sword. You needn't worry about it any longer.
Huh? The criminal who stole A Legend of Sword?
Did I say something I shouldn't have?
Oh no. The person they apprehended. Was it by chance an editor named Onodera?
Apologies, Kujo Sara didn't mention a name. But I saw her taking someone toward Hanamizaka.
Everyone, it's too late to explain. We must make haste and rescue Onodera. Please, wait. Onodera is innocent.
Oh, so you must be the author of A Legend of Sword. I didn't expect to see others tagging along with you.
Anyway, you mustn't take him away. I can explain everything.
No need to worry, Zhenyu. I've just explained everything to Madame Kujo, and Kuroda has testified for me.
Yes. In fact, we were just getting ready to leave.
Oh, phew. What a relief. Wait a minute. Does everyone else here already know?
Well, to be precise, we had dispatched 2 additional squads here, in order to prevent the suspect from escaping.
Xingqiu looks pretty flustered. What exactly is going on here?
Though it's most embarrassing, it appears quite a few people are aware of the situation now. There's no use keeping it a secret. In the end, I'm the one responsible for this whole predicament.
No, Zhenyu. It's only appropriate that I take responsibility for this. Everyone, please let me explain. For the Iridori Festival, I recommended the idea of selling newly released novels signed by the authors. Not only was this the first major project I was in charge of since joining the Yai publishing house, but Lady Yai also gave me a lot of support. However, I did not discuss our plans with the authors in advance. As a result, it caused a great deal of trouble for Zhenyu.
Yes, to be frank, calligraphy is not my strong point, so signing events are really not my forte.
Even though such an event will be difficult for Zhenyu, after telling him how important the plans were to me, he immediately boarded a ship to Inazuma to come up with a solution. So these past few days, Zhenyu has been actively practicing his handwriting. However, it takes time to sign each book, and we realized the time we reserved for the signing was not nearly enough. So I came up with the idea of moving the new books from the warehouse to my place. That way, Zhenyu could use these few days to sign them all. I thought everything would work out without a hitch. I never expected that someone would immediately realize that the books were missing from the warehouse. To make things worse, I was on vacation and staying with Zhenyu in my house these past few days. I had no idea that the situation had turned into such a huge mess. All of this happened because I wanted to prove myself through this event.
Onodera, I agreed to your proposal because I didn't want the readers to know of my unsightly handwriting. Also, I knew that Onodera had been misled by one of my prior signatures. At a previous event, the Yai publishing house had requested autographs of authors so that they could be put on display. I practiced tirelessly for an entire day to finally deliver a stylish and elegant signature for the event. But looking back on it now, I had dug myself into a hole by delivering that nice signature for the sake of my pride.
Hey, come on, you two. Loosen up a little. The theft was nothing more than a simple misunderstanding. Besides, Everyone has something they do not wish others to see.
Don't worry, Jinjo. I have horrible handwriting as well. If you don't know, I think I've actually have shown my handwriting on a number of occasions on social media. I'm not sure. I think I might have like posted one picture of my handwriting. And oh gosh, it's bad. Basically, imagine if a chicken tried to write with its non-dominant hand in Chicken Scratch. That's what it looks like. It's horrible, okay? And I hate my handwriting, and I absolutely hate it when people say that it's horrible, because I already know that it's horrible, and you don't have to remind me.
Yeah, that's right. All that matters is that Xingqiu and his books are okay.
Onodera, I think you should explain the truth regarding the stolen books to the rest of the people on Rito.
Yes, I understand. I'll apologize to everyone.
We should probably be heading back to Rito as well. Let's tag along.
We have to go back to Rito. And honestly, I'm gonna say this right now. It feels like this episode is longer than it needs to be, but honestly, it's not. It is not long enough. It is a nice 16 minutes. And oh my gosh, I just want to take a break. Well, the thing is, I don't need to pull an all-nighter for this episode. Like, I have 17 days to complete it. Like, 15.
Onodera, what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be on leave these few days?
Situation.
I'm very sorry for all the trouble that I've caused.
Yes, Onodera, but why didn't you tell everyone earlier? If you had told us, we could have thought of some ways to help you.
That's right. We're a team, and we should be helping each other in tough situations like this.
Let's leave the past behind us now. Our first priority is to help Genyu with his signatures. How is your progress so far?
My progress is not what I had hoped for. Even after working through the night these past few days, I've only finished perhaps 1/10 of the signatures.
Oh, no wonder Xingqiu looked so sleepy today.
Yep.
I understand. Murata, go back to Yae Publishing House and get Aratani to book a room on the second floor of the Uyu restaurant. We'll be using it for Genyu's emergency calligraphy lessons.
Yes, Mr. Kuriyama. It just so happens that my brother is a calligrapher. Should I ask him to lend his assistance as well?
Yeah.
Yes, good idea. Ah, you've just reminded me. Two calligraphers
my
from
name
Liyue
is
arrived
better because
today.
they have
We've worked with them before, so I'll go and ask them to help out too.
It seems I'm really in for it now.
No need to worry, Genyu. I'm sure you can do it. Didn't you finish the last chapter of your novel in just 1 week's time?
Yes, but writing novels and learning calligraphy are two entirely different skills.
Like,
Even though
I hate
Xingqiu still has to
handwriting.
deal with his handwriting issue, Paimon somehow feels a little relieved now.
I always used to prefer working alone in my workshop, but I've come to realize that solving problems with others also has its merits.
Another personal story. Whenever like I had like my mom or my grandma help me with my homework, oh my goodness, it was torture. I hated it. My mom one time like literally forced me to write in cursive. If you did not know, I know how to write in cursive decently. It's even worse than my print, or at least like the thing is, like, not everyone knows how to read cursive nowadays. I was literally forced to write in it for like an entire school year, so I know how to write in it. And then my mom forced me to write in it. I hate it. I love print way more. It's easier, and it's a lot more intelligible. So, yeah.
We also owe a special ode of gratitude to the mysterious person who has been leaving important info for us along the way.
Huh? You mean whoever left behind those stories about the 5 Kasen?
Pardon me, but what are you talking about?
Oh, right. We haven't had a chance to explain things to Xingqiu yet.
I see. It appears that Onodera and I were spotted when we were moving the books. Albedo, may I ask you one thing? Are you able to include me in a portrait as well? Not only do I owe the successful resolution of today's incident to that story, but I also hope that I'll remember this lesson.
No problem. Considering the similarities between the portrait and the events that have taken place, your proposal is very reasonable.
Please be mindful of your personal safety.
That figure was none other than Aoi no Okina himself. This turn of events had begun with an unnamed individual, under whose coercion, Aoi no Okina was forced to take drastic measures to retrieve a page of poetry. He knew nothing of this individual's true intentions. All he knew was that the poem had to do with an old acquaintance, Akahito.
Albedo really is something. He finished the portrait of Aoi no Okina in no time at all. Wonder how Xingqiu's calligraphy training is going at Uyu Restaurant. Hey, do you think whoever left those stories for us could be hiding somewhere nearby?
It's a possibility.
Oh, hello? Mr. Storywriter? Are you here? Could you please help Xingqiu with something? He's a friend of ours, and the release of his new book is super important to him.
What?
What's that sound?
Is that like a yokai or something? Is this some yokai watch shit?
It was just a cat. Looks like we can't make them reveal themselves that easily. It's getting late now.
Okay, could start
Let's go
violence,
back
but I'm
and get
not.
some rest. We still have to go to the docks and wait for another ship tomorrow morning.
True. I need to take a nap.
Welcome home, almighty Shogun.
Yeah. Me and Trevor are both a little tired from this little adventure. This little venture that we just went on. I need to think of thumbnails for the next episodes and titles, which I can come up with pretty easily. Or at least it takes me a little bit to think of a title. And by the way, I'm going to tell you what is going to be. This is going to be episode 107. This is currently the latest one that it's probably going to premiere on May 6th. Like, bruh, that just tells you how low. And I'm currently recording on the 10th of April. And you can just tell how, hey, I work hard for this channel, and I don't intend on ever, like, if YouTube were to delete my YouTube channel, I would be depressed, like, honestly. Like, I'm not really a depressed person at all. Like, if that just were to just suddenly happen out of the blue like it does, I would just be heartbroken, honestly. I guess we can check whether these... Oh, see, we talked to Albert. Okay, then it's more than likely voice acting. And it's only 24 minutes. I don't think it's gonna be that long. It's blue, so... Yellow ones are long. Blue ones are not that long. Man, like the Yai Miko and like Raiden art, it's really good.
What a coincidence. I was wondering where I might be able to find you, and here you are.
Miss me?
Yes, indeed. I believe Klee has missed you tremendously.
Oh, I want to give her a hug.
All right. As much as I'd like to sit and chat with you, this time I'm here mainly for Klee. Before bringing Klee here, I told her many stories about Inazuma. It got her very excited to experience the local culture here. However, I've got other things to do in Inazuma this time besides painting the portraits of the 5 Kasen. Over the next couple of days, I won't have the time to show her around. Inazuma is not like Mondstadt. I can't just let Klee wander off by herself when I'm busy with other things. So I had to have her stay at the International Trade Association while I finish my work. She hasn't complained, but I can tell she's not enjoying being stuck there on her own. Fortunately, I now have you and Paimon. So,
What are you gonna do?
Mr. Honorary Knight's here. What you talking about, Mr. Honorary Knight? Are we gonna go play?
Klee, are you saying you'd like to go and play?
Yeah. But Albedo is really busy. I can't go too far away or he'll be worried about me.
Just ask Mr. Albedo when you can go.
Klee, you're such a thoughtful kid.
Unlike Paimon. That judgeful look.
Thank you very much. Paimon always thinks of you whenever she's eating a delicious slime.
Just look at that look in his eye. Well, that settles it. Okay, fine, Paimon.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Okay, emergency
Anyway,
food.
it is pretty cruel not to let Klee go out when she was so excited to come here.
We'll look after her.
Yep. Allow the almighty traveler and dependable Paimon to bring Klee on a tour of Inazuma.
Let's introduce her to someone
Klee?
interesting.
Do you want to go play with Mr. Honorary Knight?
Yeah, you bet I do.
Aww, Klee's so
As
cute.
you know, Klee is our Spark Knight. You must keep her safe and sound.
No, we must keep Inazuma safe and sound.
Try to keep her out of trouble.
Yeah.
For instance, if a mountain in Inazuma was to lose one of its peaks, or if there were an explosion somewhere in the city, Klee could very well get in trouble.
Got it. No explosives.
Glad to hear it.
I promise I'll bring you back an awesome souvenir, Mr. Albedo.
I bet it's gonna be a bomb.
Great.
It's
I
going
look
to
forward
be
to it.
I don't know why, but I feel this is gonna be a
There
bomb.
are loads of cool things to do in Inazuma. Try the local cuisine, visit a shrine. What do you want to do, Klee? Cuisine? What's that? You know, food and drink. Paimon just meant we could take you to a local restaurant. A restaurant? Yay! Snack time! Got it! Alright, snack time it is! Let's go!
I'm gonna say this right now. Like, I'm the smartest kid in my class, right? Whenever I say, like, a big word, like... I'm trying to think. For example, I think I said, like, evidence or context once, and one of the girls in my class literally asked me, oh, what does that mean? Sometimes being the smartest kid in your class is a burden. It is infuriating sometimes.
Wow, something smells so good. I think it's coming from the steaming thingy. Mr. Honorary Knight, look at this noodly soup. It's so pretty. There's so many nice things inside.
It's not noodly soup. It's tonkotsu ramen, actually.
Oh, so, what are those yellow and red thingies on that plate?
You're kidding, right? Those are tri-flavored skewers.
And what about this little yellow cake?
That's an egg roll. They're amazing. Have you really not tried one before?
Wow, tonkotsu ramen, tri-flavored skewers, and egg rolls. They all sound delicious.
They sure are. Guess you're not from around here if you haven't tried any of these before. Let me buy you an egg roll with my allowance so you can get a taste of our Inazuman food.
Yes, I'm a non-static.
But Master Jean said I shouldn't go taking other people's things. Also, that's your allowance, right? Taking another kid's allowance just seems kind of wrong.
I'll cook them myself.
Oh, I remember you. You're Yoimiya's friend. How come you know how to make egg rolls?
Egg rolls are a piece of cake for this guy.
Sure, I'll throw in some for you too.
Really? Wow! Paimon is so touched! You're learning!
Yeah, this is the time when you Trevor, this is the time when you get your hands, rub them together, wind them back, and you BLAM! Run and Paimon.
Alright, we'll be waiting on those egg rolls.
Okay, it's 30 minutes. That's probably one of the longest episodes that I ever recorded, or at least it felt like an eternity to me. So, I'm not even sure if I know how to make egg rolls. I do. I just need to cook about 3. Diona. I'm gonna master it real quick because like there is an achievement for that, so. Egg roll. Okay.
Hey, mister, do you really... If you're not confident in your cooking skills, you can always go buy...
Mr. Honorary Knight, what do egg rolls taste like?
They taste like egg rolls.
Wow, you really can cook them. You're awesome, mister.
Okay, now I'm going to end the episode off here. Really hope that you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.